Hello again. Some 1,700 households have been affected following weeks of severe storms in KwaZulu-Natal. Some of the affected areas are the districts of uMgungundlovu and Ilembe. Disaster management teams have been placed on high alert. Tracking this story for us is senior reporter Dasen Thathiah. He's on the northern coast side of KZN this hour, just checking really what's the aftermath of these heavy rains in that area. Good afternoon, Dasen, and compliments to you, colleague. What are you seeing on the ground? How bad is the situation following these rains?
Well, Braden, you rightfully mentioned that there are almost 1,700 households that have been affected across the province. But that's really, it's been spread out. But the majority of the damage has been in those areas that you mentioned, uMgungundlovu as well as Ilembe. Now, we are in Maphumulo, which is on the north coast. Here, we are told that at least 400 of those households that you mentioned are affected. But you know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Let me show you a picture while I continue to talk to you that'll give you an idea of what this area looks like now. I'm standing on the R74. This is a main road that connects this area to other areas such as Greytown. And most of the road here has collapsed. So this road that we're on has been closed off. This is as a result of two major storms that the area has seen. One on the 22nd of December, the other on the 30th of December. And as a result of those two storms with heavy rains and heavy wind, it's resulted in this. I really hope that you can get the magnitude of how deep this hole is while I'm talking to you from this angle, because it is very dangerous, particularly for the communities that are around here. What's worse, though, is that although the road has been blocked off, you will see that of the area behind me, there's a pile of sand here as well as police tape. What's most concerning, Braden, is that vehicles, even during the time that we were here, continue to try to navigate past this big hole on the road to get to their destination, even though there is a detour. So something very dangerous that's happening there. On the other side, where the houses are, that's where disaster management teams are still busy. They're on the ground at the moment, and I was talking to the manager of community services just now, and he was saying to me that they are still in the process of doing assessments to find out what that exact number is. So those numbers could still rise beyond what we just discussed.
Dasen, is it possible that there are more roads in that area and other parts of KZN that have been affected so badly? I mean, that hole is so big.
It's incredible. They are, even if you drive along this road, for example, in fact, there's a vehicle here that's just coming up. He's just stopped as we turn the camera. So this is what they're generally trying to do. They're trying to make their way over the side there that you see. He's now backing away. I guess the camera has had a positive effect in this case. There are other roads, Braden, in this area that have been affected, but not necessarily to this extent. As you travel alongside, the position of the trees and the branches that are off to the side of these roads will give you an indication of exactly how the water was flowing. When it was described to us by those that live here, they were saying that the water was gushing down the hills. It's a very hilly area that we are in, and that could have resulted in the damage that we see. Worse than all of this and the physical damage that we are seeing is the fact that a 3-year-old child was washed away during that storm on the 30th of December. He was with 3 others at the time. Unfortunately, they were saved, but he was taken during that time. That's one fatality that was recorded here of the 4 that we currently know of in the province.
Yeah, one in Maphumulo, not a tragic circumstance indeed, very tragic. Now, you said 400 households in Maphumulo, where you are, in the north coast there of KZN, have been affected in that area where you're reporting live from now. There's 1,300 elsewhere. Just very briefly, Dasen, as we end here, what kind of support is disaster management giving to these households? Because some of them may have lost their possessions.
No, most definitely. So one of the things that seems to happen, especially in more rural areas, as we were told, was that you know, in urban areas, you find communities end up being taken away to community centers and so on. Here, there seems to be more of an inclination to move in with relatives, and that's what's been happening on that front. In terms of rebuilding, we did see that the Human Settlements Department has made interventions in certain areas. We saw a report of about 15 million being allocated to Msunduzi. That's where it was also badly hit by the storm. So alongside the disaster management teams, we also have officials from human settlements that are verifying what's happened and then now finding ways to ensure that those that are affected are able to get their housing back or rebuilt.
Thank you very much. eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah in Maphumulo, the northern part of KwaZulu-Natal, just showing us one of the roads that have been severely affected by the heavy rains we've seen in that part of the country in the last few days.